Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into some of the most interesting and valuable coins you might come across in your pocket change. The One Liberty Dime, the 1982 D Lincoln Penny, and a few other rare and sought-after U.S. coins. These coins could be sitting right under your nose, and they might be worth way more than you think. Now, if you're a coin collector, an investor, or just someone who loves learning about rare finds, stick with me as we uncover their value, history, and what makes them so special. We'll also talk about their market trends and how they've appreciated over the years. So grab a snack, sit back, and let's start exploring the fascinating world of U.S. coins. Let's start with one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins, the Liberty Dime. If you've heard of this coin, you already know it has a rich history that stretches back over a century. But what exactly makes the Liberty Dime so special? First, let's talk about the design. The Liberty Dime was introduced in 1892 and remained in circulation until 1916, so if you own one of these coins, it's already over a century old. The obverse side of the coin features Lady Liberty in a Phrygian cap, symbolizing freedom, while the reverse side displays a wreath and the words, "1 dime," symbolizing the coin's value. Now, the value of the Liberty Dime can vary significantly depending on the year and condition of the coin. For example, a 1901 Liberty Dime in good condition can be worth anywhere from $15 to $25. But if you're lucky enough to own a rare date like the 1895 O, which is one of the key dates for the series, you could be sitting on a coin worth thousands of dollars. In fact, certain mint marks and conditions can push the price up to over $5,000. So if you happen to find a Liberty Dime, you might want to get it appraised before spending it. Beyond its monetary value, the Liberty Dime is a collector's dream, not just for its rarity but also because of its historical significance. It was created during a time of great change in the U.S., and owning one is like holding a piece of history in your hand. Next up, we have the 1982 D Lincoln Penny. Now I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny, right? What's so special about that? Well, it turns out the 1982 D Lincoln Penny is far from ordinary. In fact, it's one of the most sought-after coins in the market today. But why? To understand its value, we need to look at the history behind it. The Lincoln Penny has been in circulation since 1909, honoring the 16th U.S. President, Abraham Lincoln. The 1982 D coin is unique because it marks a transition in coinage. You see, 1982 was the year the U.S. Mint began using copper-plated zinc for the production of pennies instead of solid copper. This change was made in response to the rising cost of copper, and it created two distinct types of pennies: the copper-based pennies minted before mid-1982, and the zinc-based pennies minted after that. What makes the 1982 D Lincoln Penny particularly interesting is that some of the copper versions, those minted before the switch in mid-1982, are now worth far more than their face value. These rare copper pennies can fetch anywhere from 20 to 30 cents each, depending on their condition, and if you find one in mint state, it could be worth even more. But here's where things get really exciting. There's a particular rare variation of the 1982 D Lincoln Penny that has caught the attention of collectors. Some of these pennies have been found with a double-die reverse, where the design was mistakenly struck twice, resulting in a distorted image. This error has made some 1982 D pennies worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in exceptional condition. If you've got a 1982 D penny, be sure to check its weight and copper content. If it's made of copper, it might just be worth more than you think. If you find a mint error, you could be looking at a serious payday, Asterisk the market and trends. What's the value of your coins today? Asterisk so, what's the current market value of these coins in 2023? Are they still as valuable as they were a few years ago? Let's break it down. Asterisk Liberty Dime. Asterisk the value of the Liberty Dime has remained relatively steady over the years, but there's been an increasing demand for certain key dates, especially in high-grade condition. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for coins that are rare or in excellent condition, and the Liberty Dime fits the bill. Coins from the 1890s to early 1900s are particularly sought after, and prices have been climbing steadily. In recent years, coins like the 1895 Liberty Dime have increased in value, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rarities. The market for 1982 Lincoln pennies has also seen an uptick in interest, mainly due to the rise of error coin collecting. If you find one of these pennies with the right characteristics, such as a double die reverse, it can be a real gold mine. Additionally, the price of copper has been on the rise, which has contributed to a growing interest in the pre-1982 copper pennies in general. As for the 1982 specifically, error coins are still commanding impressive prices, and collectors are paying attention to the details, including the weight and design features. Apart from these two iconic coins, there are several other U.S. coins that have been increasing in value. Coins like the 1916 Standing Liberty Quarter, the 1937 Buffalo Nickel, and the 1943 Steel Penny have become highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. Market trends suggest that as people become more interested in coin collecting as both a hobby and an investment, these older, rare coins will continue to see price increases. Now that you know about these valuable coins, how can you ensure that you're not missing out on hidden treasures in your own collection? Here are some tips for spotting valuable coins. The value of a coin is often directly related to its condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins that are well preserved, with minimal wear and tear, are much more valuable than those that are heavily circulated. As we've seen with the 1982 Lincoln penny, errors can drastically increase the value of a coin. Look for double strikes, misprints, or unusual characteristics that set your coin apart from others. The U.S. Mint uses different mint marks for coins produced at different facilities. A coin with a rare or sought-after mint mark can be worth significantly more than others produced in the same year. Some coins are simply rarer than others. For example, key dates, low mintage years, and limited production coins often carry a much higher value. The world of rare coins is a treasure trove of history, mystery, and potential fortune. Whether it's the one Liberty Dime, the 1982 Lincoln penny, or any other U.S. coin, there's always a chance you could stumble upon something truly valuable. The market for rare coins is thriving, and now more than ever, collectors are eager to pay top dollar for these fascinating pieces of history. So, the next time you dig through your spare change or look through your coin jar, take a second to examine what you've got. You never know, you might just have a coin that's worth a lot more than you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest trends in coin collecting. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! In today's video, we're diving into some fascinating US coins that have caught the attention of collectors and investors alike. We'll explore the value, history, and significance of the one Liberty Dime, the 1980 Lincoln penny, and much more. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. These coins are worth more than you think, and their stories are absolutely incredible. Let's jump right in. Alright, let's start with the one Liberty Dime, which is often overshadowed by its famous counterpart, the Mercury dime. But don't be fooled. This coin is a true gem in the world of numismatics. The Liberty dime, also known as the Barber dime, was designed by Charles E. Barber and struck between 1892 and 1916. It's called the Liberty dime because it features a profile of Liberty wearing a cap, with Liberty inscribed along the rim of the coin. The reverse features an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both war and peace. This coin is incredibly important because it represents a key moment in American coinage, bridging the designs of the 19th and 20th centuries. Now, what makes the Liberty dime so sought after by collectors? First of all, its design is stunning, simple yet elegant. And since it was minted for over 2 decades, the coin has a rich history. Many of these dimes were in circulation during the early years of the 20th century, so they have witnessed major historical events like the Spanish-American War and the rise of the Industrial Revolution. So, you might be wondering, how much is a Liberty dime worth today? Well, the value of a Liberty dime can vary widely depending on its condition, mint mark, and rarity. A common Liberty dime in average condition can be worth anywhere from $4 to $10. However, certain key dates and high-quality specimens can fetch much more. For example, a 1901's Liberty dime in good condition can be worth anywhere between $100 and $200, while a coin in mint condition could easily go for over $1,000. The 1894's Liberty dime is one of the rarest and most valuable, with prices reaching over $1.8 million at auction. That's right, a coin that originally cost just 10 cents can now be worth millions. It's mind-blowing, right? Now, let's move on to a coin that many of you are probably familiar with, the 1980p Lincoln penny. This penny is part of the famous Lincoln cent series, which has been in production since 1909. The 1980p penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and it features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But there's more to this penny than meets the in terms of design. It's not as rare or unique as some of the earlier pennies with special minting errors or varieties. However, the 1980p Lincoln penny has become popular with collectors because of its historical context. The 1980s were a significant time in U.S. history, marked by economic changes, and many people view these pennies as symbolic of that era. So, how much is a 1980p Lincoln penny worth today? If you look at it just in terms of its face value, it's worth 1 cent. Pretty straightforward, right? However, there are some factors that can influence its value. The value of a 1980p penny can range from a few cents to a few dollars depending on the condition of the coin and if there are any rare errors or varieties. For instance, if you happen to find a 1980p penny with a noticeable minting error, such as a double die or off-center strike, it could be worth significantly more. Coins like these can fetch anywhere from $5 to $50, or even more depending on the severity of the error. However, most 1980p pennies are worth about 1 cent. Still, if you're a serious collector, it can be fun to look for unique features or oddities that make your 1980p penny stand out. Now that we've covered the one Liberty dime and the 1980p Lincoln penny, let's talk about the broader coin collecting market and where things stand today. Coin collecting is an ancient hobby, but it has evolved in some surprising ways. The market for rare coins has grown significantly over the years, thanks in part to the rise of online auction sites and marketplaces where collectors can buy and sell coins. What's particularly interesting is the surge in interest for certain types of U.S. coins, such as key date coins, mint errors, and coins with historical significance. For example, in recent years, the market for coins like the Liberty Dime and certain varieties of Lincoln pennies has experienced a significant uptick. Investors and collectors alike are eyeing coins as a way to diversify their portfolios, especially in times of economic uncertainty. In fact, many rare coins have outpaced traditional investments like stocks and bonds, making them a more attractive option for savvy investors. If you're getting into coin collecting or want to expand your collection, there are a few other U.S. coins you might want to keep an eye on. For example, the 1909 SVDB Lincoln penny is one of the most coveted pennies in the U.S. It was struck in limited quantities and features the initials of its designer, Victor David Brenner, on the reverse. This penny can be worth anywhere from $800 to $1,000 in good condition and even more in higher grades. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel is another legendary coin, with only 5 known specimens in existence. If you happen to stumble upon one of these, you're looking at a value of over $3 million, so there you have it, folks. The one Liberty Dime, the 1980 Lincoln penny, and other U.S. coins each have their own unique history and value. Whether you're collecting them for their historical significance or as an investment, these coins are more than just metal. They're pieces of history that tell the story of America. If you're interested in diving deeper into the world of coin collecting, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have any tips for fellow collectors. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting for those rare coins. Until next time, keep collecting and stay curious. See you in the next video.